Mike's Daily Podcast.
Episode 1200! Who gives a rat's patoot? Yeah, 1200 episodes. My ex-wife used to make fun of me how I said the word 12. Because I like to say 12. I make a ch sound. But that's just me. 1200! Woohoo! All right.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
Thank you. Here we are at Cafe Anyway. Yes.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
And I would like to say... Anyway, I think that I tried not to watch the debate. I did not want to get depressed last night. So I decided against it. And then I didn't want to participate in all that political. So you know what I found?
Mike's Daily Podcast.
I found The Great Castles of England to be a fantastic alternative.
Mike's
and I watched that on Netflix.
Daily
Hey, so
Podcast.
Idiot me didn't buy Netflix stock back in 2011. That would have been smart because it's going through the roof because of people like me. I am watching Netflix because I hate normal television because of the crap. Like I was talking to my roommate. He loves watching Netflix and watching... But he also likes The Walking Dead and stuff that appears on normal television or cable TV. And I tell him, you know, I'm just so sick of the American television TV, the TV shows that we make in America. Everything is the same. All the characters, the actors is what they are. They're all really good looking. They're all CW because the CW changed the way television is. Everybody's got to be young and beautiful. It just you can't take your eyes off the TV because oh my gosh, that person is so beautiful. But they don't represent what real life is. It's still predominantly white. It's still and the stories. Oh, the big thing is. You got to tell stories out of sequence. Thank you, Lost. Thank you, Memento. Thank you, every other movie that came out that told the story out of Pulp Fiction, that told the story out of sequence. How I Met Your Mother. Oh my gosh. Did you hear there's going to be a reunion for How I Met Your Mother? Jason Segel. Well, basically, they're all out of work. What have they done since How I Met Your Mother? Neil Patrick Harris has done a gazillion Heineken ads. Woohoo! Where he gets to stand in front of a white background and not move. It looks, if you watch that ad, if you watch that commercial, it looks as if all they filmed was his head. Because the rest of his body isn't moving at all. And then there's a woman in the ad, and she doesn't look like she's moving at all. And there's a lot of TV commercials where you have like super good quality. It's done, you know, it's not done with the shoddy old videotape. Can your knife do this? Ginsu knife. It can cut a can. I'm totally not acknowledging anyone that's coming in right now. I know there's a lot of people here because it's the 1200th anniversary and we're all excited, but it's a big round number, 1200, but anyway, what they do is they have the people stand in front of they don't the whole concept in a lot of commercials is the spokespeople don't move at all. And then they talk. And it harkens back anyway to the 1950s where you'd have someone standing there and looking at the screen, usually smoking a cigarette, going, I want to talk to you about your life insurance. Hello, I'm television's Hugh Downey, and I would like to say, you are going to die. Why not cash in on the whole thing and have your family win a bunch of money when you die, and that'll be great. It's an offer you can't refuse. All right, now we're just silly. Let's talk to some of the people that are here. There's this person. Hi, Mark. It's Benita, the rodeo queen. Hi, it's my horse, Dilly.
It's a Disgruntled Fiddle Player, tell you what.
What?
Yeah, we're all here today to celebrate your 1200th anniversary of the Mike's Daily Podcast Show.
You know, I've known the Disgruntled Fiddle Player a long time, and Benita, and the Brewmaster, who's also here.
I'm at the root beer. Oh, boy.
He's pouring us some root beer. We go back to a show called the Santa Fe Cafe, which I did back in Ventura. And it's so funny. I just heard from someone in Ventura. Ghost hunter Richard Sennett. He gets really busy this time of year. He's fascinating to talk to about ghost stories, predominantly around the Ventura area, but he can talk about just the tales he tells of ghost sightings and interesting old stories of people. He's just a really great guy, and I haven't spoken to him. Well, it's funny. The last time we talked was on Facebook 5 years ago. And, you know, Facebook does that memories thing where they show you stuff from, hey, 5 years ago, you posted this. And so I clicked on the post. I clicked on the comments under the post, and all of a sudden there was Richard Sennett. And I said, and he had said something like, oh, I'm listening to your podcast. I missed the Santa Fe Cafe. And I clicked like on it. And I had commented way back 5 years ago, Richard, you need to be on the show.
And here's today's podcast picture.
Oh, hold that thought. The picture today is of the San Leandro Marina. It's so nice. It's got boats, because that's what marinas have. And some of them get lost in the fog. And then there's this beautiful sunset happening behind it. I took this picture recently. Enjoy that picture now at MIKEs-DAILY-PODCAST-1200-Milestone, where you can also help out the show, support the show through the Amazon link. Click on that, buy whatever it is you're going to buy. That helps us out tremendously. Yeah. And there's also the link to PayPal if you'd like to support us that way. You'll get a special greeting from all the Cafe Anyway characters and these sheep. And then there's also the link to the link. Oh, someone's calling me.
Later that day.
Oh, someone was calling to wish me a happy 1200th anniversary. No, of course not. No one knows. I'm recording this, and then people will know. Some people. Maybe no one. I don't know. What I would like to say is now that complete... Oh, yes, that was kind of ironic. I was going ding, ding, and then the phone actually rang. That's weird. Let's see if I say something like, massive amounts of money will go into my bank account right now. Maybe that'll happen, too. And maybe donkeys will fly, and maybe Trump and Putin will finally get married, because that's what they want to do, right? That's what they really want to do. Richard Sennett is going to possibly be on the show. We'll see. Now, he may not like that statement I just said about Putin and Trump getting married. As far as I know, Richard Sennett is not a big fan of Hillary, so we'll see. We're not going to probably have a political talk on the show when he's on. We'll have an interesting ghost chat. I did not watch the debate. I watched, like I said, I couldn't get myself to do it. I didn't want to be depressed, so I watched the highlights, and I read about the highlights, and I heard this one quote that Trump said. They were talking about late-term abortion, and Trump said, I'm not for ripping the baby out of the womb in the 9th month on the final day. Well, Mr. Trump, that's called a cesarean. I am a cesarean. I am of cesarean birth. And what are you saying? That you're against the cesarean babies? How dare you? Trump also said this comment. He also said the words, you're the puppet, came out of his mouth. No, you're the puppet, when Hillary was talking about how he's a puppet for Putin. Puppet for Putin. Say that 8 times fast. Hey, Trump likes Putin, okay? He loves Putin, he loves Russia, he loves Russian women, as we can tell from his long line of marriages. What's wrong with that? What's wrong with an American president wanting to get in bed with the biggest superpower that the world knows that's against us? The guy Putin's got the most wonderful record. He always says what he means. He never lies. It's just like Trump never lies. So they're going to get along great. Osama bin Laden was being killed, was being taken out and killed is what he was being done when Trump was doing Celebrity Apprentice. Hillary pointed that out when she was talking about her 30 years of experience compared to Trump's. It was an interesting moment. I think it kind of went by rather quick from what I saw in the highlights. I don't know if it sank into the average viewer, but yeah, that is an interesting comparison. And Republicans, I don't think they like the fact that Osama bin Laden was brought to justice, quote unquote, during Obama's administration and not George W. Bush's administration, because George W. Bush would have really liked that. Dick Cheney would have really liked that. What's his name? Karl Rove would have liked that. But it didn't happen with them, did it? It happened with Mr. Obama and Ms. Hillary Clinton. Now, I was Secretary of State Hillary Clinton at the time. And you know what? That's just a fact that a lot of Republicans can't wrap their head around, and that their current candidate for president was doing a awful reality TV show and probably talking smack to Clint Black on that episode. There has been a political ad that I've been watching on Fox News, because for some reason our TV is stuck on Fox News here at Cafe Anyway as a sweet bit of irony. And, you know, I try everything I can to make it get off of Fox News, but seriously, it's stuck, and let me hit it this time. Nope, nothing. Well, but there's this ad for Hillary that says Hillary will do anything to get elected. And Trump kind of echoed that in the debate, saying that she's been running a crooked campaign and that it was Hillary's fault that the Busgate came out when we were talking about on the last show. No, Busgate was going to be suppressed by NBC, and then it got leaked. I got into a conversation about leaks and WikiLeaks and Julian Assange and Edward Snowden with Haley yesterday. And Haley's like, you know, I listened to your show, and I said thank you. And Haley said, you know, I agree with you, Julian Assange is a jerk, because he says he leaks information. He's giving you the raw information that the governments or whatever agency doesn't want you to know. But in fact, he gives you the filtered information. He tilts the information in a way so that it will be presented. He doesn't give all the information. So you've got to question what Julian Assange is giving out. And you got to question his motive. He hates Hillary. He wants Trump to win. You've got to question his background. He is in league with Edward Snowden. Edward Snowden is in Russia right now. So there's all these questions. And this dovetails nicely into today's news segment, which we call the FM Project.
The Fascinating Material Project.
FM Project.
The last thing I forgot to mention, of course, the biggest thing, what they kept talking about on all the news stations, the slanted liberal media, was talking about how Trump, the one thing they pulled out of the debate was that Trump said that he will not accept the election no matter what the outcome is. He will not, if Hillary wins, he won't accept it. He basically said, they pressed him, Chris, what's his face, the guy from Fox, was like, are you saying that you're not going to accept the election if you lose? And he said, I don't know, I'll keep you in suspense, bada bing, bada boom. And the thing is that, and Hillary, rightly so, said she was horrified by that, appalled. The fact is that is wrong. You cannot do that. He thinks he can get away with doing, I'm doing everything my way. I'm not going to adhere to your rules. But that's one thing you can't do. And that leads us all to think, well, what else can he do that president should not do? And that is press the button. He might end up doing that because he'll do anything else. He'll keep us in suspense with that, too. I'm looking forward to his presidency. Even in the year 2000, when it was a tight, the results, the election, Al Gore, George W. Bush, there was a lot of, the one won the Electoral College, the other won the popular vote, and the Supreme Court was pulled in, and they were counting hanging chads in Florida and all that, there was this sudden, I remember this fever pitch of anger from Republicans saying Al Gore needs to concede now because our country is in a state, it's in a dangerous place because the president has not been picked after an election and he needs to concede now. And a lot of Democrats were like, no, there's still a lot of questions. There's still a lot of these things weren't counted right, blah, blah, blah. And Al Gore then conceded. He didn't wait that long. I think it was, what was the maximum time? I know it was like within a week. I may be wrong. It could have been 2 weeks. But he conceded, and that's what we have to have a nice, calm change of power. Whatever. Cafe whatever. No, wait, this is cafe anyway. So Senator Marco Rubio of Florida knows this more than anyone, pretty much. And he's young and good looking, and he's probably going to be the next president. Who knows? After Hillary. Do you think Hillary's going to be a 2-term president? I don't know. I'm wondering about that. But Senator Marco Rubio, in fact, somebody on Facebook today who was a big Bernie supporter posted on Facebook, I sure miss Bernie right now. And a lot of people, commented, me too. And it amazes me because she's a millennial, kind of a hipster. And the fact that she was such a big fan of this old white guy is so great. It's so, this old, Bernie was, I think we'll look back on this election and go, wow, Bernie Sanders was an actual thing. How cool was that? It was an interesting sort of, no one really expected it to happen that way before, 4 years previous. I don't think we were, thinking of Bernie, is what I'm saying. All right, where am I going? No, we must forge ahead because this is the anniversary show, and we must get to the meat of this interesting story with Senator Marco Rubio. That's where I was going. He advised his fellow Republicans yesterday not to use revelations in WikiLeaks from the wonderful Julian Assange and the Russians as political ammo against Hillary Clinton and other Democrats. The Florida Republican said in a statement provided to Business Insider that, quote, he will not discuss any issue that has come to the public's attention solely on the basis of hacked emails from Clinton campaign manager John Podesta or internal emails from the Democratic National Committee. He says, as our intelligence agencies have said, these leaks are an effort by a foreign government to interfere with our electoral process, and I will not indulge it. Bravo, Marco Rubio. That's exactly what I was saying the other day. And as I am watching the television that's stuck on Fox News, and all they show are the emails. And all they show are the stuff that is being handed to them from Julian Assange and the Russians. I feel that I agree with Mr. Marco Rubio on something. Finally, one little thing. Over the past several weeks, Republican presidential nominee Donald Trump has frequently touted revelations in the latest WikiLeaks dump, telling audiences that the organization exposed supposed foul play in the Department of Justice's investigation into Hillary's use of a private email server, as well as her close ties to the financial industry. You have to read it, he told a campaign rally audience in Florida last week. Some intelligence officials have sharply criticized the real estate mogul for touting revelations in WikiLeaks. Former Deputy Director of the CIA, Michael Morell, told reporters during a press call hosted by the Clinton campaign last week that Trump was actively embracing the Russians' alleged attempt to tip the election in his favor. In my mind, he's actually cheering it on, he said. He's reading from WikiLeaks material at his rallies. He's encouraging people to read the hacked materials. He's encouraging this attack on our democracy. I just find that amazing and shocking. That from MSN.com and the Business Insider. So what do you think? You can email me, MIKEs-DAILY-PODCAST@gmail.com as we go outside a cafe anyway, where we bring you Mike's Daily Podcast somewhere in Podcaster Valley. As Haley told me, we need whistleblowers, and I absolutely agree with that. Well, that's it for today. I know Fox News will keep reporting on things until, these Hillary things, until they actually become stories. And that a lot of people that love Trump watch Fox News because they can't trust the liberal media. And that's the world today. So I say no to this world. I say yes to this anniversary show. I say yes to David Lee Roth videos that were made in the mid-'80s that are wacky and weird, and I didn't even realize the song that he did that was not actually a huge song for him, but David Lee Roth, after he left Van Halen, did a song called Yankee Rose, and he did this weird little vignette before the video where he's like in a where is he? He's in some kind of mini mart somewhere, and there's this cast of characters. This thing only lasts about 5 minutes, and it's as funny as something you would see on SNL at that time. And then he comes in wearing some strange tribal garb and saying, "I need a glazed donut and a bottle of anything to go." And I remember all my friends quoting that line, even though we weren't old enough to drink yet, but that was a big thing back then. Isn't that weird, memories that come back to you? Thank you, YouTube, for wasting my time watching old David Lee Roth videos. Not that I'm a huge fan of his, but thanks for being a fan of the show. Next show, we're going to have... who? Oh, Madame Rootabega, Valentino, Bison Bentley. And maybe we'll even have a puppet. No, you're the puppet!
Mike's Daily Podcast is written and produced and performed by Mike Matthews. His podcast is super easy to find. Download or listen to his show and read his blog at MIKEs-DAILY-PODCAST.com. Email Mike now at MIKEs-DAILY-PODCAST@gmail.com. See you tomorrow. Bye!